The difference between what makes a person rich and what makes a person poor lies in the amount of money they keep. Most of us can't pay ourselves first because of the expenses we have. But did you know that the rich find ways to reduce their expenses by avoiding unnecessary things that might keep them poor? And have you ever stopped to wonder what are some expenses that rich people avoid? Knowing this can help you to make better financial decisions. So watch this video to the very end and try your best to avoid these expenses if you really want to be rich. Number 9. Credit card debt.
Hey, do you mind paying for this? I don't have any cash.
Sure, I'll just put it on my credit card. I'm never going to pay it back anyway.
'Cause I have $30,000 in credit card debt. When they call, I tell them I can't pay it back yet.
Credit card debt?
Tomorrow I may buy myself a dining room set or this Boba Fett. Credit card debt, credit card debt, credit card debt.
I know every song about money, and I've never heard that one before.
Well, it was based on actual events. Although I don't have as cavalier an attitude toward my debt as the song suggests. I'm actually up most nights with severe panic attacks.
The rich will never use a credit card to make purchases on things that cannot generate them income. There is a popular saying that goes, if you can't buy it cash, then don't buy it at all.
Diapers, milk, and laundry detergent. $25.
Oh yeah, and that stuff he just said.
Spend more time with your family. Priceless.
Many people end up struggling because they keep on using their credit card to buy things that cannot generate them any form of income. If a rich person is going to use a credit card, then they will buy assets. Take, for example, Robert Kyosaki. He once uses his credit card to buy a real estate property. Can you believe that?
And he said I had to have $2,000 down. This is called equity. Bank was going to lend me $6,000 in debt. I had the $2,000 in cash. But the name of the game or the exercise was, can I buy it for zero? So what I did was, if I paid for this property with a credit card. So now it was $100% debt. With that 100% debt, I made $25,000 a month. I was a free human being. I never needed money again.
This is how rich people think. If you are going to use your credit card, ask yourself if this is a good investment for your future. Poor people use their credit card to buy groceries or make online purchases, which makes them add another liability that will eat up their money after they get paid. The rich will never do that. The rich use their credit card to buy assets, or they don't use it at all. Another thing that is common among rich people, or a person who has the mindset to become rich, is the fact that they use their credit card in a way to build a positive credit history. In this way, the banks and other financial institutions will trust them. This is why some rich people are able to easily acquire debt to get rich. So, if you have a credit card, get into the habit of building a good credit history instead of making impulse purchases. Number 8. Unnecessary insurance. If you do your research on how insurance companies work, then you will realize why there are so many companies that offers insurance. Most insurance may tell you all the pros of getting insured, but rich people can spot when something is off because they conduct assessments of their risks and insurance needs. They may hire a professional financial advisor or insurance experts to help with this. This will help them to know exactly what coverage is necessary and avoid paying more money. Sometimes a rich person may request a custom insurance where specific needs are tailored. Another way rich people avoid unnecessary insurance is by choosing the self-insured path. This means that they set aside money to cover potential losses instead of paying for insurance coverage they are unlikely to need. Number 7. Paying their own mortgage. Middle-class people and poor people think that their house is an asset. If they get the chance to take out a house and pay mortgage for 30 years, they would. This sets them up in a trap where they would constantly work tirelessly for money. And because most poor and middle-class people have only one source of income, which is their job, their expenses will increase over time. Like a person may have to pay for the mortgage, home maintenance, property tax, and more random purchases. The funny thing is, the banks won't really tell a person the cost of owning a house when taking out a mortgage. So many people fall into the trap of working for 30 years just to own the house. In the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, he explains how his poor dad thinks about owning a house and how his rich dad thinks. For his poor dad, he thinks that owning a home is an asset, and the rich dad thinks the opposite. In the book, Robert Kiyosaki also explains that if he wants a big house, he would invest into assets that can generate him with enough money to buy the house and also cover the expenses of the house. In this way, he doesn't have to rely on a job to pay his mortgage. His assets are paying the mortgage for him. Number 6, businesses or investments they don't understand. When poor people hear about an opportunity to get rich, they may make an impulse decision to try to make an investment or start a specific business. Not because something is called an investment doesn't mean you will earn money from it. Poor people fantasize the idea of starting a business, and then they will become rich from that business, only to find out that business they are planning to start may become a living nightmare. The reason behind this is that they didn't understand the business or assets they are investing in. It takes more than watching a video about starting a business or investing in assets to actually become good at spotting good businesses and bad businesses. There are many stories on the internet where people make an investment on something that they think will bring them money, but it actually brings them misery. As Robert Kiyosaki once said, the most important thing students should have learned in school is to learn to read financial statements. This is where the information is on whether a business is good or not. Does the business have a good cash flow or a bad cash flow? So, another thing to look out for in a business is how they manage the business. What are their marketing strategies, and how will the business protect its assets if someone poses threats to the institution? Most poor people don't ask these questions when starting or investing in a business. They just do it blindly, putting their financial health at risk. No matter how good a business may sound or how good an investment may sound, never invest in it unless you understand the numbers. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new here, just to help push this video to more people who need this message. Don't be selfish. Leave a like and subscribe now. Number 5, a job. While getting a job is what most people follow to get ahead in life, it is proven to be the worst way to actually gain financial success. Most people get up almost every single day to work for someone, and as you do this, you are giving others the freedom to live their life. This is what makes job a distraction for you and many other people. It is distracting you from becoming free, and yes, most people might argue that they need a job to pay their bills, but we all have been programmed from birth to have some behavioral characteristics that will make us forever poor if we don't change them, and one of them is thinking that a job can make us financially free. Before you think about working for money for your entire life, here is an eye-opening story. Once there was a man called John. He is a hard worker, always on time, always punctual, and always gets the work done. He has been rewarded a lot of time as Employee of the Month. He has got a lot of bonuses. He even gets pay raise from his boss. His boss loves him so much because he has been making a positive impact for the company's growth. John always talks about retiring at 60 and how he will be just relaxing on the beachside with his beautiful wife. He always talks about all the fun things he will do when he retires, and that is what motivates John to keep on working hard, to keep on doing a good job. He didn't have time for his wife, so his wife cheated on him on many occasions. He didn't have time for his kids, so his kids didn't feel that fatherly connection with him. All he does is work all his life waiting to retire so he can do all the things he wanted. Even though John was a hard-working man, he was never happy, but he promised that when he turns 60, that is when he will truly become happy. Sadly, John got sick by the age of 59, and and the last word he said before he died was, "I should have never waited to be 60 to start living." The question you should ask yourself is, are you waiting to live your life, or do you want to live your life now? When you have a job, you are trading time for money. A job sucks because it consumes all your time for paper money. And what is worse is that money keeps losing its value year by year. Things are getting way more expensive, and the pay rate will raise just a little. In a job, you sell your life for money. If you work, you get paid, and if you don't work, you don't get paid. What if I told you that there are millionaires out there doing less work than you, but they are making way more money than you? They not only put in less work, but they could be anywhere in the world while making money. In fact, to make $1 million from the typical job will take 15 years or more. And there are people out here making $1 million within 3 to 5 years, and they don't have jobs. Isn't that mind-blowing? Your job is distracting you from time. You work 5 days a week just to get 2 days of freedom, and by the end of the year, you accomplish nothing, but yet still, you are always busy. The second thing a job distracts you from is experience. Did you know it takes about 20 hours to learn a skill? But you might say, how does a job distract you from experience if when you go to your job and work, you will then have the experience to do the job? That is the thing, you have the experience to do that job, and that is the only experience you will ever have. The thing about a job experience is that it is usually organized into group of activities that is routinely repeated day after day. By the time you have known exactly how to do the job, you automatically stop learning. A habit is form, which is just to do that specific routine over and over and over again. The next thing you know is you are a master of doing your job. You may feel a little good inside. Your boss may love you, but you have to get up and work for someone else every day, making them richer. You became a master of making your boss richer and have financial freedom, but for you, you became a slave to your job. Which would you rather? Would you rather to be a master of doing your job perfectly, or a master of becoming financially free to the point in which you don't need a job or you work whenever you feel? The only way you can get the right experience is to have the time, resources, and knowledge to work on a skill or a product that can add value to someone's life. You have never heard of a billionaire that has a job and a business, and if you do hear of a billionaire like that, then his job is to get rich and not make someone else rich. The third thing your job is distracting you from is control. The thing about a job is that you cannot control when you work, how you work, and most importantly, how much you get paid. And if you don't control your income, you can never control your financial plan. All the control is in the boss's hands, which means that you have to do what you have been told every time. And if you fail to do it, then you might get fired. One of the main things that causes you to lack control when working the typical 9 to 5 is time again, because if you want to gain control over your job, then you have to set up other possible income streams. But if you don't have enough time to do that, then you will never have control. And what is worse, you will depend on just one source of income to get by in life. Imagine working at a job for years and you cannot get a reasonable pay raise, and what if that one source of income got cut off due to economic factors? How long could you survive without a job? Now let's talk about the best advice to eliminate your job and get rich quicker. Have you ever heard the story about the donkey and the carrot? Well, it goes something like this. A man wanted to motivate his donkey to move so that the donkey can go wherever he wants it to go, but the donkey would not move. So what the man do is dangle a carrot in front of the donkey's eyes so that it forces him to chase the carrot. After the donkey has reached the destination, the man wants it to reach, the donkey is then giving the carrot as a reward, and this process will repeat. The poor donkey doesn't know that this was a trap and has been doing it until it dies. If you make the donkey represents most people, the carrot represents your paycheck every Friday, and the man represents your boss. This story signifies how most people live. The man is in control of what you do and when you get paid. In the story, the donkey feels that is it. Stop doing what the master wants it to do. It will never get any carrot. And you feel like if you stop working for money, you will never survive. Now, I'm not telling you to just get up and quit your job without having a plan. I'm telling you this story to make you become more aware that you will never be in control of your destiny if you keep working for money. Number 4, car financing. The difference between why a poor person may finance a car and why a rich person may finance a car is completely different. You see, poor people will finance a car to look rich or to give this facade that they have something going on in their life. The thing is, when you finance a car for the wrong reasons, it may affect your personal expenses in the wrong way, because not only you will be paying a monthly fee, but also insurance, maintenance, fuel, repairs, and no matter how good you take care of your car, it will depreciate. This is one of the big reasons why financing an expensive or flashy car is the worst investment a person can make. As soon as you drive the car from the parking lot, it loses value. So, you are putting money into something that will go down, and also take money out of your pocket due to expenses you have to pay. Most people put themselves in deep debt just so that they can have a nice ride, then work themselves all their life trying to pay off a car, when you could invest all of that money in a business or stock that will give you a positive cash flow. Instead of buying a brand new car, which will go down in value, it's better to buy a used one about 5 years old that mainly has about 30 or 40,000 miles. This will make you save a lot of money from depreciation. Number 3, luxury items. Did you know that most people who consumes luxury items are either broke or they are middle class? This might shock you, and you might disagree with me because when you go on social media, you will see people who may post pictures of them in that expensive clothing or jewelry or car. Did you also know that one of the richest men in the world owns most of these luxury clothing brands? And people are buying them just to look rich, when real wealth doesn't come from what you wear, or the car you drive, or the house you have, but comes from the amount of money that is in your bank account. Did you also know that celebrities and social media influencers are sometimes given these luxury items to wear for free so that they can promote it on their pages? So, while the celebrities or influencers may be wearing these items, it's a business for them. Number 2, taxes.
Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man. Is this your Ferrari?
Yeah.
And what do you do for living out in Los Angeles to be able to afford a Ferrari?
I own my own consulting firm.
So you're a business owner?
Yeah.
And how long have you been an entrepreneur for?
6 years.
And over these 6 years, what's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Just over about 7.1 million last year.
$7 million.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a Ferrari right now. This is a lot of people's dream car. Tell me the story of how you bought this thing.
I'll be honest with you, I had already offsetted all my taxes for the year and I just wanted a Christmas gift. So I just went and bought myself a Ferrari cash. When you don't pay taxes, a lot of these types of purchases start to become a little bit different.
So you don't pay taxes?
Oh, no, I don't pay any taxes.
Why is that?
People say that it's patriotic to pay taxes. It is not patriotic to pay taxes. It's actually more patriotic to not pay taxes. The government has created this tax system and it's a legal playbook for us to legally pay the least amount of taxes possible. People need to wake up and utilize that book and not be in the same circumstances of just paying taxes every single year.
As a multiple 7-figure entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've ever received throughout your career?
Ooh, if you haven't heard of this and you're self-employed, you need to implement the Augusta rule. As long as it's for business, you can rent your house to your business and charge yourself a fee for it. That is an amazing tax strategy at the end of the year.
What are your thoughts on debt as a business owner?
Oh, I love debt. I'm focused on trying to increase my debt actively right now. And the reason why is because debt allows for me to buy more real estate, and in return, I can use that real estate to offset my taxable income. So I love debt. I'm a partner with the bank. I look at me and the banks as we're business partners.
You got amazing.
The truth is, rich people pay zero to little tax. Businesses do not pay taxes on income. They pay taxes on what is left. When poor people get paid, some of their money will automatically go to paying taxes, but for the rich, they pay taxes last. It may sound a bit unfair, but there is a trick to why rich people pay less taxes. If you spend the money you make on goods and services that benefit the business, you will not pay taxes. So what some rich people do is to increase their business expenses to pay less taxes. That's the reason why some millionaires can spend millions on private jets, and they can put that as a business expense by saying that they want to meet with clients. It is easy for them to spend money on anything and say it's for business purposes and pay less tax, like restaurants, buying items, traveling, and much more. Business makes money, spend money, then gets tax on what's left. Employees earn money, gets tax, and then spend what's left. Number 1, woman. It is smart to think of this as a form of distraction. There is a popular saying that goes, you will lose money chasing women, but you will never lose women chasing money. If you read about most millionaires' early stages of building wealth, you would realize that they didn't have much sexual experiences when they were young. They didn't spend outlandishly to try to impress the opposite sex, but focus on themselves and their goals. In the end, it was women who were chasing these men and not them.